Alright, what I'm demonstrating here is how to make ginger tea. Ginger tea is enormously helpful if you have nausea or heartburn. It really does a fantastic job of stopping the symptoms in their tracks. When you do ginger tea, do not try to use the dry tea bags. Those are pretty much worthless when it comes to any kind of medicinal value. Essential oils such as Young Living do have ginger oil drops. I know that these can be used for making ginger tea, and while I do recommend Young Living, I have not actually tried to make ginger tea with the essential oils yet, so you'll have to find someone else for advice on that. For this, what I've done is buy the ginger root in the produce section of my grocery store. It's usually kept where they've got other roots, like they'll have jicama there and carrots, things like that. If you've ever shredded carrots, you know that when you do, there's actually a lot of moisture trapped in them. It's the same thing with ginger. Unfortunately, I wasn't thinking, and I shredded this before we started recording, so I'll have to piece in a picture later on here to show you what the whole ginger root looks like. It's pretty cheap. It cost me less than $1 to get this volume. It came from one small piece. Shred the ginger root using a regular cheese grater. As you can see, you do end up with a lot still left on there. Hopefully you'll be more diligent than I in getting it all off. And then you've got your ginger root. If you're going to make just 1 cup of tea, you don't need very much. This is an example of a reusable tea bag, for lack of a better term. Of course, I'm blanking at the moment. Fill it up about halfway. I'm using just one side, as you can see. Now, if you're British, you probably know far better than I do how to make good tea. But what I do is get a mug of hot water. Alright, now I've closed this. As I said, you get 1 mug, fill it about 3/4 of the way up with hot water. I just microwave this. Once it's boiling hot, you drop this in, let it steep for a few minutes, take it out, and then add honey. I don't really measure precisely, but that's about what I do. I think it's supposed to be about a tablespoon that you use. The tea will look pretty much this color even once the ginger root has had time to seep. Right now you see clear. You're looking for a light brown tint. If you'd like to make a bigger volume of it, which I recommend personally if you have repeated instances of heartburn or nausea, there is another method. Get a tea filter, one that holds far more than just a single serving size. There we go, and let me pause while I fill that up. Okay, and again, you can see I've got this about halfway full. The reason it's important not to stuff this as full as you can is that the water can't get in between those shredded pieces of ginger if you've got this thing jam-packed full. What your goal is for as much water as possible to soak into as many of these shredded pieces of ginger as possible. Now, the way I will do this, if I want to make this en masse so that I can just have easy ginger tea available to me throughout the week, I will get about 64 ounces of water, that's half a gallon. I bring that to a boil, take it out of the microwave, then I add my tea filter. One sec. Alright, got the tea filter sealed. Put this into a container, again 64 ounces, about half a gallon. I'll let this seep for quite a while. I want this to be as concentrated as possible. I've left this thing in there for as much as 20-30 minutes. It will get to be a much darker color, similar to what you're used to seeing with iced tea. Now what you have is a concentrate. So store your concentrate. I have here a half-gallon jug that was originally milk. And I have the last of my concentrate in here now. Store this in the refrigerator. It will go bad otherwise. When you're making tea on the fly, all you need to do is use this concentrate. If there were more in, by the way, I would have shaken it up, but we're getting all of it. I have this filled only about 1/4 of the way full. Again, because it's concentrated. Fill the rest of it up with water that you've already heated up. Usually takes a minute or two in the microwave to get that. This, you'll see, I still have that honey in it, but normally, there we go, and stir, magically appearing stir, there we go, and that is awesome. If the tea is burning your lips or burning your tongue at all, then you probably have it too concentrated. It's not going to do you any harm. It's just if you already have heartburn, it's quite possible that you're really overly sensitive to things like that too. So you want to have a little bit of a tingle. It is a spice after all, but if it's actually uncomfortable to drink it, then dilute it. You want more water. And that is basically it. I then will fill, once this finishes seeping, I'm going to fill this container into this one, stick it in my fridge. It lasts for several weeks, and any time that I need to make a mug, instead of having to go through the manual process of using a small filter and doing 1 cup at a time, I can just pour the concentrate into the mug and top it off with hot water. I use a ratio of about 1:4 or 1:3. That's 1 part water, 1 part ginger tea concentrate and 3 or 4 parts water. And then to that, again, I'm adding about a tablespoon of honey. Honey is really great for the stomach anyway, so to be honest, I don't really worry about putting too much in aside from the sugar count. And that is it. That is how you make ginger tea or ginger tea concentrate.